going on, Jerome's? So this quarterback class has a chance to be one of the best in NFL history, as there's several young players, whether it's Caleb Williams, whether it's Drake May, whether it's Jaden Daniels, whether it's Penix, whether it's Bo Nix, whether it's J.J. McCarthy, whether it's Spencer Rattler. Could be taken high in the draft, as many as 4, 5, 6 in the first round, and notably the talisman in this class is Caleb Williams. And even though his junior season wasn't as good as the sophomore season when he won the Heisman Trophy going away. There was some questions about his game. Did he freelance too much? What about his attitude? What about this, that, or the other thing? I still think that even though he's not the hyperbolic, better than Mahomes right now, chance to be, I still think he has a chance to be a transcendent talent. I think he still has a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and perfectly fine rolling the dice if that happens. Now, the Bears, the crooked Chicago Bears, by dint of their trade last year with the Carolina Panthers, have the number 1 overall pick and have to have a decision this year. Do they take Caleb Williams, or do they trade down and try to build around Justin Fields still? All right, that's the question. But now, Caleb Williams, he's got leverage in the spot. Now, don't believe the reports like, well, Caleb Williams says he wants ownership in the team. That's stupid. That's muy stupido, right? And even Colin Cowherd, basically 2 days ago said that Caleb Williams doesn't want to play in Chicago, and then he sort of had to walk it back today. Just kind of funny, man. But we have seen before, there is precedent of number 1 overall picks using leverage and basically dictating where they want to play. Jumpin' John Elway, coming out of Stanford back in the day, 1983, didn't want to play for the Baltimore Colts, and his pops was a major driving factor in that. Eventually, he got traded to the Denver Broncos, and then he had Eli Manning, who was taken number 1 by the San Diego Superchargers. The Mannings, notably Archie Manning, did not see eye to eye with then Chargers GM A.J. Smith. So just like, hey, no. Also, that's back in the day when like marketing and markets were a big deal. It's like, hey, Eli, why don't you be in New York and we can work on you as a media mogul? Even though Eli Manning didn't say 2 words while he was playing. Like, he's showing his personality now, but it's funny. But either way, he eventually was traded with Phillip Rivers, who's taken number 4 overall. So you have 2 instances where the number 1 overall pick basically grooved where he was going to end up. Long story longer, what if Caleb Williams forces his way to the Minnesota Fighting Vikings? Now, no inside information. No, there's nothing out there. There's no reckless speculation. There's no rumors or innuendo. There's nothing. But what if it happens? What if it happens? Now, the Vikings currently sitting back at 11. That would be less desirable for the Bears. Also, trading in division would be less desirable for the Bears. So is it a spot where one team trades up to 1 and then the Vikings trade with that team? Just full on Yankee swamp, as long as the Bears don't put a poison pill deal in with the other team. Who knows, man? But it is noteworthy that when the Elways and the Mannings pulled their shtick, the Broncos were number 4 overall and the Chargers were number 4. So a little bit less of a drop there. But the Vikings, could they make it happen? Certainly. And I do think that Caleb Williams does have that leverage where he could be like, hey, I'm not going to play for the Bears. I'm not going to play for Team XYZ if you come up and trade for me. I will only play for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. And there's a couple reasons there. First off, Jordan Addison reunited, and it feels so good. So Jordan Addison and Caleb Williams in 2020 tore the cover off the ball. Addison was instrumental, even though Addison's black and white stats weren't the same as Pittsburgh in 2021, but he certainly aided Caleb Williams in winning the Heisman. And the passing game for USC in 2022 up here, 2023, not so much, except for the bowl game. They looked really good there. Also, Mekhi Blackman, 3rd-round pick by the Vikings. Kwesi really going hard for the men in Troy. So a reunion there. So and it just looks good. I feel right, Brian. I feel right. And of course, you'd have to deal with the Bears. Right. Great. Just the absolute brain trust over there as Ryan Poles and the Bears are taking back the North and never giving it back. And then Justin Fields, he'd have some more parts around him. There you go. But question is, why Minnesota? So first off, Addison, Blackman reunited with his guys, and I mean Jordan Addison kind of made Caleb Williams. Not gonna lie, Justin freaking Jefferson, you have the best wide receiver in the game, and I think that JJ hasn't signed his extension. Maybe he's waiting for CD and Jamar to get their money. Same thing with Mike Evans, but also he wants to know who the quarterback is going to be, and I feel like he can F with Caleb Williams. I really do. Hawkinson, when he's healthy, is a top 3 tight end. He might not be 3. You have a great tackle duo in Darrisaw and O'Neal, even though Darrisaw, questions about staying healthy. O'Neal took a step back last year. Either way, you do have the makings of a solid offensive tackle unit. Offensive-minded head coach with Kevin O'Connell. Now, can KOC cater his offense to what Caleb Williams does well, which is making plays off script? Going full Mahomes, playing a little bit of hero ball. Maybe he pressed a little bit too much last year at USC, and it wasn't great. But also, I mean, that defense at USC was very poop at. And Caleb Williams had to feel like he had to score a touchdown every single drive. Otherwise, USC was going to lose. Also, indoor stadium. So even though you're playing in the NFC North, elements won't be an issue unless you're playing on the road late in the season at Green Bay, at Chicago. But either way, indoors where it's always 74 and sunny. It's a perfect, and no wind. It's perfect for putting up huge numbers offensively. Also, free Juicy Lucy's. And free cheeseburgers, too. So there you go. So this is why I proposed to the Bears. So Vikings, get Caleb Williams. You can have 3 1s, 2 5ths, which is 40%, and Garrett Bradbury. Go ahead. So 3 1s, including number 11 overall this year, where the Bears can... They can still add in the trenches. Maybe Fashanu's there. Joe Alt is probably going to be gone, but maybe they could package up some picks. Maybe they can go get their guy in that regard and really suture things up for Justin Fields, or maybe Roma Dunze is there. Maybe Brian Thomas. Go ahead, whatever you want. Hell, maybe Brock Bowers falls that far. Who knows? Who knows, man? But so you get the Vikings first-round pick this year. You get the Vikings first-round pick in 2025 and the first-round pick in 2026. And, yes, it's going to be dangerous, you trading the Vikings potentially their future franchise quarterback. Fully understand that. But also, the Vikings are taking the risks enriching a divisional rival, and maybe Poles won't screw up these draft picks like the other ones. Who knows? Who knows, man? Plus, plus now the Bears get their starting center in Garrett Bradbury. And maybe you can have like Andrew Booth Jr. too. I don't know. Just spitballing here. So there you go. But again, this is all far-fetched, but never say never. I feel like Caleb Williams could be persuaded for all the reasons that we listed. You get Justin Jefferson, reunited with Addison and Blackman. You're indoors, and you have an offensive-minded head coach, so you don't have to have a gong show of new OCs every single year if you have success. And I feel like it could work out. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Could Caleb Williams pull a John Elway or an Eli Manning and force his way to the great state of Minnesota? Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.